So here's something you may or may not know about me. I like to cook. Mainly because I like eating a lot too, but that's not the point. I think I first got into cooking sometime around 3rd or 4th grade when I saw my mom making dinner once, and I was like, I want to do that. And let me tell you, I'm glad I thought that. It's quite the satisfying and time-consuming hobby. For the next 2 or 3 years after I barely started learning the culinary ways from my mom, I received like 3 or 4 different cookbooks all together on Christmas and my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I got a chef's hat the first Christmas after I started learning how to cook, and that was pretty funny. Okay, moving on to hot sauce and spicy things, because that's why you're here. So back in 4th grade, I remember my friend Alex would always come to lunch on Chicken Tender Day, where this chicken literally submerged in like a gallon of hot sauce. And every time I saw that, I would think, I wonder what hot sauce is like. I don't remember when, but I later tried hot sauce, and ever since then, I've loved spicy food. I was kind of a weakling at first when it came to spice, and the worst I could handle was a few drops of Tabasco. Okay, so to put it simply, my siblings don't like spice at all. Whenever spicy food was made, they would all complain a lot and drink tons of water. Because of them, we didn't have spicy food very often. Since we couldn't ever have anything spicy for dinner for the reasons I just stated, I would always have to find ways to spice up my food. My main thing was to always put red pepper flakes all over my pasta whenever we had that. The annoying thing is that almost every time I ate the red pepper flakes, I would get a few stuck in my throat, and that would burn. Like the flakes would just sit there in my throat, not wanting to move.
Sorry about this, bro.
Okay, a while ago, I saw this awesome looking recipe in one of my mom's cookbooks for 5-alarm Texas chili. Yeah, that doesn't sound spicy at all. I asked my mom to make it, and she said it sounded good, but the other 3 kids probably wouldn't like it. But I was just like, yeah, if you don't tell them there's anything spicy in it, they won't notice. So my mom made the chili, and it was amazing. Maybe the best chili I ever had, to be honest. The chili wasn't spicy at all for some reason, even though it called for a boatload of spicy peppers. It was like the morons who created the recipe were like, let's throw in literally every hot pepper on the planet and see what happens. Yeah, we listened to those morons. Now about 4 months ago, I asked my mom if we could make that chili again, but this time I wanted to help. My mom said sure and wasn't worried this time about the spice based on the last time. So after suffering through the onions and choking on the cooking pepper fumes, we finished the chili. Dinner time! I was excited because I loved this recipe, and unfortunately, Angela was even more excited than me. She dove right in before the rest of us had even picked up our spoons, and immediately, this is spicy. So we all started eating, and yeah, it was a lot worse than the first time. I mean, I still liked it. My mom and dad liked it too. The worst that happened to me was a slightly runny nose, and that was it. My mom said she liked it, but the spice was a bit much. My dad was eating like normal because he has like superhuman spice resistance or something, but my siblings, they're the highlight. Angela was starting to do this sort of hyperventilating thing, and she put in a ton of sour cream and cheese to combat the heat. She also had some bread, which I think helped her a bit. She was already out of milk with half of her chili still left, and she wanted to get water, but my dad said no because she would cause herself more pain that way. She started saying that her stomach was hurting from the spice, and I'm like, well, that's a problem. She finished the chili. So during that whole ordeal, Ben was quietly having a meltdown at the end of the table. This is how I noticed. I guess that was supposed to cool his mouth down? I don't know. And on top of that, I looked over at him and his hands were shaking. Ben was just sitting there silently, his face full of pain, and his hand was shaking so uncontrollably that I saw it from my seat. Ben? You're shaking right now. He just went, yeah, I know, and kept eating. Respect. He finished his milk pretty early on during dinner, so we got up to get some water, even though that was probably a bad idea. He was drinking his water constantly, so I don't know what was going on inside of him at that point. Moving on to Grace, though, as dinner started, she proceeded to straight inhale her chili, probably to get it over with, so she was done pretty fast. I didn't really look over to see how she was doing with the spice thing, but she was pretty quiet all dinner and wasn't moving much, so I think it was taking most of her willpower not to overload from the heat. Overall, I'd say the meal was really good, but that's a bit biased since I like spicy food. Angela even said after dinner she liked the chili itself, but the spice was too much, which I understand. But I think we learned our lesson. Next time we'll definitely reduce the number of peppers we put into the chili, and we'll hope nobody spontaneously combusts. But that's a problem for another day. So first, thanks for watching this whole video if you did. This video was really fun for me to make, even though the whole animation took me around 7 months. I don't exactly know yet how far I'm willing to take this animation stuff, but I guess I'll figure that out soon enough. But for now, I don't intend on just hanging up my animation equipment and walking away forever, so expect another video to be on the way, even if that video is like a year away or something crazy like that. Before I go, it'd be nice if you could subscribe to my channel and like the video. Since this is my very first video ever, it's really hard to get anyone to notice my channel, except for the people who know me personally or follow me on social media. So I'd like to ask you a simple favor. If you have any friends or family, if you think they're into this stuff, could you possibly tell them about my channel and maybe try and get them to subscribe? That way I can try and grow even the slightest bit. That's really all I'll ever need from you guys watching, aside from the support of my friends and family and the support of you guys. So again, thanks for watching the video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.